What are you going to do now? Tell me.
You are now.
So what are you doing?
So
Am I too near to that thing?
No, you're fine because I have it.
Why?
So, for all us who may be watching for years to come or whatever, who are you?
My name is Irma Johnson. I live at Craddock Road. Also known as the mother of Culturama.
Okay.
My mother is Doris Claxton of Craddock Road. My mother is Doris Claxton of Craddock Road. She died last year at the age of 102 years and 9 months. And she was very alert. My father died, who was George Johnson. He died quite some years ago. I don't really remember.
Okay. And they both were Nevisians?
They're both
born from
They were
Nevis?
both Nevisians.
Okay.
My mother came from Granny Gut in Brown Hill. She's a Brown Hill extract.
And your father was from where in Nevis?
Charlestown.
Charlestown.
Yeah.
Okay. And where were you born?
I was born right here in Charlestown.
Right in
I
Charlestown.
was at Alexandra Hospital. I attended the Charlestown Girls School and CSS, Charlestown Secondary School.
So tell me about NEDACS, the origins.
NEDACS is just a change of name from the original group. The original group was started in 1956 by Mr. Gaston Orville Fox, who was the first principal of CSS, and the then graduate teacher at CSS, Mr. John Williamson. They got together a group of young, ambitious people who presented plays to the Nevisian public. The group was called the Nevis Amateur Drama Group. The only 2 foundation members alive today are Mrs. Marjorie Morton, who is now the Deputy Governor General, and yours truly, myself. Mrs. Morton's time was short-lived as she went away to study. So I was the only one who kept the fire going and the ball rolling.
These plays that you put on, these are plays that you guys wrote or plays that were published already and you performed the plays?
Plays that were published already. In NEDACS time, Calvin wrote plays, but we did plays we used to get plays from the university and whatnot. So the group put on plays. The Nevis public then developed a love for drama, right? Because we used to do good plays.
And what time period you're talking about right now?
1956 on. Then the introduction of Leeward Islands Drama Festival came about. Whereas all the Leeward Islands got together, they would perform in one island. Each group had to do a specific play and then one of your own. And I must say that Nevis always made its name. We might have won the winning production, and individuals would have gotten, prize for best acting and so on. And I must say, yours truly received prizes for good acting. We used to get training workshops from University of the West Indies in, I think it's Jamaica. There was a gentleman called Noel Vaz, and he used to come to Nevis and give us some workshops. And so the group advanced, our acting skills improved, We had very many good actors there, and as I said, the group won many of the productions. Well, we had, all of them passed on. You had Hasted Tyson, he lives in the States now, he was good. You had somebody called Cooey, he was good. You had somebody called Eugene Hoskin, he died. So I can't call, but they were good. And they had the potential. So after we realized that, we had potential, the amateur was taken out of the group. The word amateur. Because after we realized that,
And what year that would have been?
No, I don't remember that one. But the amateur was taken out. And then we were called the Nevis Drama Group. And we performed plays and whatnot. And again, our standard increased and increased and increased. But NEDACS used to give back to the community. NEDACS used to give scholarships. Samuel Keynes was our first scholarship holder. Paid his thing right through to CSS. And I think Dalvin Nisbet was one of our scholarship holders. paid for them, right through books, everything, exam, everything. Then
Okay, so how did NEDACS make this money? How did they get
the
this money?
plays that we put on, we used to put on good plays. We used to have plays three times. You know, first showing this night, second showing that night, and the CSS hall used to be full. Yeah,
So
man.
you're making good money then after plays?
Well, I mean, good money compared with the days then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you pay $5 and $10 to come to a show. But I mean, you know, the seats used to be filled. People developed a love for drama, and we used to put on damn good plays. And I got to stress that. That is why we were changed to take out the amateur and put on today, because we did good plays. Barabbas, that was our masterpiece. People in the audience cried. Then we did one years after, Minister's Daughter. That was a hit. That was around the same time with the thing with the Queen Grenada, and it had a sort of, you know. And that went on with the band. We went St. Kitts. We used to travel all over. We used to go St. Croix with plays, Statia with plays, St. Martin with plays, Antigua, Montserrat. We used to travel all over. We went to Montserrat and Antigua several times on Brother Small Boat.
Brother Ansley.
Yeah, take us up to do plays up there 2 nights a week. Come back down on the boat on a weekend and so.
So.
Why is a lot?
So the money you guys made, all this went into. You didn't pay yourself at all?
No. Private work, voluntary work. We loved it, nothing else was there to do. We didn't have no TV home, we were glad to go drama meeting and meet and discuss things and so. Yeah. We had our thing set up, our savings account set up. And then when we started Culturama, some of our funds from our plays was able to start Culturama with. So we didn't pay anything. Now even when we run Culturama, nobody paying it. We didn't get no pay from nobody. It was voluntary work. We wanted to build a complex. So it was voluntary work from the group members. Nobody did get paid. Nobody get paid. Like the group was doing it.
So when you would travel to do a play like St. Martin, they would pay you a ticket up there, or you had to pay out of the NEDACS money?
You paid half. I think that's how we used to do it. You pay half. Because you benefited, so you would pay half. When we were at station, you pay half and the group would pay half. You know, in those days, I mean, airfare wasn't, you know, that at that time. You know? So it's a lot more to Cultural. I didn't give you half the story.
You know, nowadays when you have a show, you have all these vendors on the outside. Was it only NEDACS alone selling food and drinks at the time when you put the shows on?
No. We had vendors. When we started first, we used to run the bar. But the vendors with them all kind of, those were not in then. So we used to run the bar on the inside.
And what kind of food was on sale for refreshments in those days?
For what?
Like when you go and you buy a
bars?
drink and you want to buy food while you're at the show, what kind of food they were selling?
We didn't have no food. Only drinks we used to sell.
Oh, only drinks? Okay.
Beers and soft drinks and so. That's what we used to say. We didn't have no food like now. We only got the food sale and so, you know, but we didn't have no food like now.
So at the food fair, that was open to the general, everybody could bring their own food to sell. That's
when we started first at the food fair, NEDACS used to prepare the food.
All the different dishes, okay.
So my mother would have make the ginger beer and the marby. We buy the sarsaparilla from over the man over there. Lyra mother, Miss Richard, would make the black pudding. Somebody else would make potato pudding for us. Somebody else would make conky, you know, and that is how we did it. But we used to sell this stuff. We get our fry fish, we fry them right there, we sell them.
Well, tell me about the recipe competition. What was involved? Those parameters?
People prepare dishes, but you have to use local stuff. Yeah, it might have been either a vegetable dish, or a meat dish, or a sweet dish. And they had different categories, and they would have people come in. We had home ec teachers. Martha Gishard up there, she used to be one to do the judging. But home ec teachers used to come in and judge and award prizes. We give out trophies for that and that. Stuff like that.
At what point you decided to say, okay, the saltfish and the coconut dumpling was the national dish?
At what point they said that was the national dish?
That was before? That was before that or no?
No, only lately they started talking about national thing. They had the national thing before. Only since Culturama come in, they started to talk about culture this and culture that, you know. Even when they had when they had the Queen show in St. Kitts, the girls then just used to go on stage and parade in their basket, and then they used to have no talent or nothing, you know. But after we had the Miss Independence show, that part was introduced, and what's her name, Bernadette Maynard, who was Miss Independence. She went down there and did her cultural thing, and after that they started to introduce talent and stuff. But all used to come on stage in the evening way and thing. And then when Calvin came along and introduced the cultural aspect, you know, with the folk singing and the drumming and whatnot, the group was changed to the Nevis Dramatic and Cultural Society, shortened the NEDACS. The group progressed smoothly, but it fell into dormancy towards the 1960s. One or two of our members left the island to go abroad, and fate dealt the group a further crippling when it took two of our outstanding members. But then Christina Disaster, as I said, Parks, Sam Sweden, he was a good actor boy, Parks. And Sam Sweden, those two I can remember well. The stage was already set when it comes to drama, and so the division somehow always managed to rise to the occasion, so things went on smoothly after that. And Calvin Howell, known to everybody as Cabo, came on the scene and set the group in motion.
Do you remember when Calvin Howell came on the scene? Like what year, Aris, or what time period?
Maybe 1971. But when they went to Guyana, that is one of the things also motivated them. You know, when we started the cultural aspect after they saw what went on in Guyana. That was one of the things that really.
So when you said, okay, so who went to Guyana? Did Howell and NEDACS?
No. Some of your members.
Your members?
Yeah.
Okay. You went?
No, I didn't get to go, but they were having Carry Festa. And strange enough, Calvin had to fight to get a few members from Nevis to go to Carry Festa, you know.
Fight who?
St. Kitts got all the information, and all who never danced clowns yet, and all who never do what they had a contingent of them to go. And after Calvin heard, Calvin tried to, you know, reach the authorities and try to get a contingent from Nevis to go. And he got I think I should have a picture in here. He got a grant or something from Barclays Bank. The man Archibald was in charge then, and Naira was working at the bank, and they were able to get sponsorship to go, a few members to go to Guyana. I didn't get to go because I had my plans already to go. And I think one of the string bands went down to Calvin had to fight for that.
You talk up a little bit, Andy.
Okay, yeah.
You're saying about the string band?
I think a string band went down too, and along with a few members from NEDACS.
Okay, so they went to Guyana, saw what they saw, and they brought back
Ideas for the festival.
The festival.
Yeah. But before that, as I said, we used to go to, as you see here, we used to go to the, so they need to educate the people as regards the cultural background. They took their performances around the island and became involved in street drama, used to do street drama and folk singing and things, right in the street here. You know, on a Sunday afternoon or moonlight night, we used to go to the island and perform in the street. So drama was no longer a concern of the group, as its members saw the need to educate the people as regards their cultural background. And therefore we took our performances around the island, which involved street theatre, folk singing, poetry, drumming, etc. In 1974, the group saw the need for the revival of yesteryear troops that were sadly lacking at Carnival time. Of those days, you had Carnival in St. Kitts, and we had nothing in Nevis. The troops, very little thing in Nevis when at Christmas time. When we were growing up, we didn't know which troop to follow. I could remember I heard my mother said one year Mrs. Howell sent her downtown, and I think it was a Boxing Day, sent her to buy fish at about 9 o'clock in the morning. And she didn't reach back home till about 6 o'clock the afternoon with the money in her hand. But there was so many troops to follow. So she just from one troop to the next, one troop to the next, one troop to the next. And all day she was out and had the money in her hand. Didn't know which troop to follow. But when she went back home, Miss Howell did say, anyway, Doris said, thank you, but I still leave some food for you. You know? Because she said you didn't, troops used to come over from St. Kitts, Blue Cross, Red Cross, and down south to troop them. You didn't know which one to follow. The minute you leave one, there's another one, and the big drum and everything, you know. Yeah, so that's how it was in those days.
And this is Culturama you're talking about?
No, I'm talking about, when I said here that Carnival, revival of yesterday troops, that was Sunday looking at Carnival time.
Okay.
So when they used to have Carnival, we seldom had anything over here. And that was because of politics too. So the members seriously considered the idea of preserving the customs and folk art, which were rapidly dying in the island. For the Christmas time, you had nothing. Everything was just...
I thought there was a Christmas carnival.
Yeah, they had the carnival up here, but then that was controlled by St. Kitts. And after a while, people just got disgusted, you know. We used to have carnival. I used to be on the carnival committee. I used to go around looking for girls for the queen shop there. I was chaperone for a girl named Laurel. Nell Cole, she went into. Laurel, a few girls I was chaperone for in the carnival committee. Yeah, Merle Morton and all was one on that committee looking for girls, and so I had organized children troops down there at the club in the carnival committee. Then at one time carnival was run by the JCs. I was a member of the JCs. I helped organize Christmas festival, you know. So I had my experience from then.
But I'm trying to understand, when you said the part when there was so many troops and you didn't know how to follow, what time of year that was during the Christmas time too?
Yeah, but that was during my mother's growing up days.
Oh, her days.
But I'm just showing the difference, because she said so many troops then, and then in our time, in the late thing, you couldn't find any. They were dying.
But she's talking about around Christmas time too?
Yeah, it was Christmas time.
That was a Nevis thing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Christmas time, that was Christmas time. Christmas time, you look forward to Boxing Day. When you have the troops out playing in the street and you get them the money, you used to look forward to the serenaders at night and so. You know, that was in my mother's days growing up. Well, I mean, I would remember a little of that too, you know, but those days they used to have fun, all sorts of sports, you know, but after a while, everything just...
So you're talking about 1800, in the late 1800s then?
Not 1800, you crazy and me, 19.
Because you were born in 1930
My mother was born in 1914.
1914?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, and I was born 19 something too. You see, so when we growing up, we know about a lot of troops and so. You know, go government house to play first, you run up there. They go hospital to play, you run across there following them. You know, you don't know which troop to follow. But after a while, it just started dying out and dying out and dying out and dying out. And St. Kitts controlled Carnival, so very little was going on up here. So that is where now Carnival is already need. Christmas time, nothing was happening, you know. So plans were now set in motion as the group prepared to host the first ever cultural exposure on a large scale on the island. Okay, the group went to, as I said, Carrie Fester continued, and that's how they motivated them more. But they saw what went on there, and that gave them some more ideas. And we discussed it, and we thought, well, August Monday weekend, because of the significance of the holiday, the emancipation of slavery, we thought that was an ideal time to have the festival. We couldn't have it at Easter time. We didn't want to compete with Carnival, so that was the most appropriate time. And we think it fitted in nicely because you know what emancipation was all about. So that is how it was called. I mean, it came to be celebrated on that weekend. And as I said, Culturama, the emphasis was on culture. And Ramas were in the and one night we had a meeting and we said, what should we call it? What should we call it? And somebody just popped up here, well, let's call it Culturama. Just like that, you know? And the name stuck and everybody just loved Culturama now. No, but there will have to be contention because a fellow Floyd is saying is he who said it, And then there's the fella Earl Campo. He lives in he used to work at Bank of New York. He's saying that he was the one who brought up the name. And Clifton Floyd is saying, because they were all members, he's the one. So I don't really remember which one of them really came up with the name. But someone of the members said, well, just let's call it Culturama. And the name stuck because culture was the root word, everything was based on culture, that you were trying to revive and promote, and then at that time again to black, what is it, what do you call it now?
Pride, nationalism.
Yeah, but what they used to call it? You had your Afro and whatnot. All that was in the air.
Black pride, black is beautiful movement.
Right, that is because our focus was on black people too, and your talent and your history. That's why when we started culture, it's Afro we used to use. They had the the evening wear was African print. Not all these fancy things there, We were showing off our black beauty. Because if you went on stage with too much eyeshadow and thing, you lost points. Black is beautiful, and that is what we were portraying to. Black is beautiful, and we did our African outfit and stuff like that. Our troops, and so we concentrated on the natural thing we have around us, the local things we have around us. So our troops, and so not all these feathers, but local things from the straw and the branch, and those are what our troops were about. I remember one year, we used to have, we used to celebrate just not every year with costumes. So the 5th year, and the 10th year, because we didn't have the funds like now. And one of the years we had somebody was a coconut tree, and they showed you all the produce of a coconut tree, and nothing in the coconut tree wasted. You know that? Nothing on the coconut tree is wasted. So somebody was a coconut tree. One year we had somebody as just like honey, and you have the flowers and the bees and the thing. That was the costume. Another one had fishing. Somebody was just like a lobster. Another one had a big hand, and was from the hands of the people. And they show you all because we used to have a art and craft for the opening, and they used to show you all the things that were done by people's hands, the craft work. Those are the things we used to do as costume. Somebody depicted the bat stream. Those are the local things we used to do. Not like now. They're competing with Carnival with all these feathers and stuff like that. It irritates me. Serious. I'm not a joke. Culturama gone on the drain. They're competing with Antigua and Trinidad. We wanted Culturama to be a unique festival. We're not unique anymore. Everything is just got lost as far as I see. The young people think, I guess, well, you have to. Times change. But still, give the young people something, but they must know about their roots. You understand what I mean? They must know about their roots.
So tell me about the planning stages. 1974, you're going to get ready to put on the first one. So tell me about some of the challenges you had leading up into it, organizing, getting what you need to put on the first show. Well, as I tell you, we have to take the galvanized from over where the netball complex is now and head them over to CSS. And we got the prisoners and some fellows from the Lost Street area down there who used to go and cut the branches. Our first stage was made of branch. You had the stage, and all you had around the stage was branch. Branches were some of our fencing to keep out the people. And a lot of those fellows from Lost Street, Lafford and a few of them, but I could remember Lafford, those were the fellows who used to help us out and don't get any pay. We let them come in 50 night show. And they had to go in the trees and cut the branches and put them around the stage. You understand? So what was on as far as your list of entertainment for that night? What were you? Okay, our thing was just like the weekend. We started the Thursday, and the official opening on the Thursday was an art and craft exhibition at the courthouse, where people came and displayed their art, their handiwork. The man Hill used to display some lovely beds and so on. And the fellow named he's from, anyway, he used to do a lot of craft work with shells and coconut things, and those are the things that people brought in. So that was the Thursday. We had the official opening, we had our speeches. We used to offer a complimentary drink
And our complimentary drink used to be Marby, sarsaparilla. We used to get the sarsaparilla from a man called Mr. Jeffers over at Fountainside. Sarsaparilla, ginger beer, lemonade. Those were our complimentary drinks for the official opening. And you had it like 2 o'clock in the courthouse up there, and after that, well, a band will do a little jamming around the street. And then the Thursday night,
when you said jamming around the street, the band is on a truck, or what do you mean?
No, they didn't have. Soul Survivors. We have to play so much thing to Swanee and the Soul Survivors and those people there, because that was the only band, and they kept the festival going. You know, those are the people we're supposed to big up. But then at the beginning, they're forgetting about the foundation, people who did all the work. So they would jam around the street, and then in the evening they would have, I don't remember what show now. And then the Friday night, then they might have the Calypso show, the semi-final or whatever it is. So we used to go to Dick's Bar to have Calypso tent and so. We go all around the place to have Calypso tents, Ginger and Calypso tent. You know many do I don't man over Dick's Bar for Calypso for thing. Sit down to the door, put me foot them, people come in, collect the money, and then after they had dance, oh my God, why? I like to talk about this. This will take a whole year to talk about Cultural here. Okay, and then the Saturday morning, we would have had our food sale. And the first food sale we had it. You know, we had the taxi stand in Charlestown now?
Yes.
That is where we had our first food sale. But that was a slave market. So we had our first food sale there. And we moved from there.
Did you educate, while you were having it there, did you educate the public of the origins about the slave market?
Well, yes. Then we went to the back of Longstone House 1 year, or 1 or 2 years, I don't remember which years, you know. And then after that, we hung things is now. There used to be a big flamboyant tree there, and we used to have our food sale under the flamboyant tree. And you have your Molly and all those fellows fry the fish right there on a big, broad iron thing, and we boil the lobster there. That time you were not penalized for getting small lobsters. You go out and catch your lobster and your whelks and you boil them right there. People go, sell me the lobster there, one the lobster there, one whelks. That is what we don't to do under the flamboyant. Just go down there and set up a stage and have your drinks there, have your mobby, everything. You cook your food there, you have black pudding. Everything used to be done under the flamboyant tree, right down there by the waterfront where Hunky is now.
That's
the Saturday.
Okay.
The Saturday morning.
Saturday morning, okay.
And then like about 12 o'clock or so, we had what we call the recipe competition. That used to be at the courthouse, so people prepare dishes. 1 year might have been meats, another time might be something, but it had to be local. And then you have people come in and taste and see who won this and who won that. That's what we used to do, you know, because everything was your roots, cultural, you know. Then the Saturday night we would have had the Calypso show. And after those shows, we proceeded to conch shell. Our bars used to be outside upstairs now where the staff room used to be. There used to be another flamboyant tree. Our bar used to be underneath the flamboyant tree, just left with a little piece of wood. And then after the shows at CSS, we heads to conch shell for a dance. Some of us go over in the afternoon and set up the bars with your bath pan and put in your ice. And when we go over, when the show finished, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, we go on conch shell and it's dance. And every night you had in cold water and you reach home 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock.
So who provided the music for the dance and how did...
The same band, Soul Survivors.
Okay.
Soul Survivors are a string band.
String band though?
Yeah, if you go to the club, we have a string band. When we went to the club, after the function finished, we have a dance in the clubhouse, Nevis Club. Yeah, with the string band. Mm-hmm. And we are the ones who did everything. When we finish that, you have to go to pick up money and all kind of thing.
So tell me about the conch shell dance. You say you go over, you set up your bar with the ice and everything. So
yeah. Mm-hmm. And when the function finished, members go over.
How much did it cost at that time to get into the dance about?
I may remember. Maybe $10 or $40 or so. Mm-hmm. You know? Mm-hmm. Might have been.
Was it well attended?
Yeah. Oh my God. That's the action. Mm-hmm. So everybody had to conch shell.
Was there Sinkies people coming over to party along
Of
with us?
course. And we had so much trouble with them because our tickets used to be printed in St. Kitts. And somehow, I don't know how they used to get some of them, but when we inside selling tickets, Kittitians also selling tickets for half price. And that is no joke. Or at least less than what we're selling for. So I don't know how they used to get them in St. Kitts. Well, our tickets used to be printed down there. So they used to come up and sell tickets outside for less than us.
Wow.
And what we used to do, those times, if you come in with a ticket, we used to give you back half. But then I think that was a bad thing. So when you go outside with the half, they could have sell the half and tell them you were in there already. And, you know, but we got some licks and some blows, you hear me? Oh my God.
Okay, after the conch shell dance now, give me the rest of the weekend after that. What happened right after the dance?
Sunday morning, well, you reach home Sunday morning and you get ready for the Miss Culture show this Sunday night. You understand? You get ready for the Miss Culture show this Sunday night.
So tell me about the planning of the first Miss Culture show. Anything you could, any details
We got together, you had
like who recruited the women? Who recruited the first contestants? You remember? Who was in charge of recruiting?
Who was in charge of the thing? Was it me? I think I might have been on that committee because I was on the committee for JCs and the Carnival thing, so I was a part of that committee. I could remember asking Lucina Wade.
Well, since it was the first show of that kind at that time, was it hard to get the girls to participate?
You mean at first?
Yes.
No, man, because the festival was new and everybody liked it, you know.
To be a part of it, yes.
You know. Yeah, it came off well. The festival was, you know. But, I mean, they didn't get much money at any prices, you know. Oh my God, $500 and thing, and just a few little thing, and a few the merchants around town would give a little one thing and a little thing, but the prices then were really small. But at least we admire the girls then for going in, you know, setting the pace.
So anything that's that same show. Anything stands out, like anything that was extraordinary that night? Any mishap that may have happened? Any misadventure? The Miss Culture show that
the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Everything went smoothly, man. Everything went well. Everything went well. It was the first, you know. And then the group, some of our members went on the stage to entertain with the quadrille. I should have been able to find picture.
Oh, so the side act was NEDACS members?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, doing the quadrille. Mr. Doe was asked to teach us the quadrille. I know in some of the things that they have about, he was a foundation member of NEDACS. He wasn't a foundation member of NEDACS because NEDACS was just a change of name. But after Calvin invited him to teach the group to dance quadrille. So he wasn't a foundation member of NEDACS. NEDACS was just a change of name.
So after the show.
And then after the Monday morning, we had Juve, and we used to have aquatic sports.
What time did Juve start?
Well, you're going to say 4 or 5.
The first one.
I don't remember, maybe 5 or 6-ish.
And where would it start?
Would have started? I wouldn't remember exactly where. If it's about by the school or where.
What kind of, for the Juve, what was the attire for Juve?
So before time they used to call it pajama jamming because it was early in the morning. So some people come out in their pajama, some come out in their nightie. That's true, and some come out in their shorts or whatever they want to put on. That was it.
Did any of all this, what you're talking about happening, did any of it conflict with, let's say, the Christian council or the churches or anything like that?
No, not at that time. But now we can't because they're going too vulgar. You know, they're too vulgar and they don't have no moral standard or anything. You know, how they dress and so. Nothing was wrong with us at that time. And they come downtown. And then maybe about 8, 9 o'clock, we had the aquatic sports. They go down on the thing and you have the greasy pole and people pushing over people. You know, it was fun. And you swimming thing and your coconut shell boat racing, and you know that's what we used to have.
Coconut shell boat racing? Tell me about that.
You never make boat out of coconut shell yet? You ain't know about that?
No, tell me. tell me.
When you husk out the coconut, you just dig out the thing and you get a pointer put in and you put a piece of thread across and something. And you put it in the water to sail. Those were little boys' fun time.
So everybody just put the boats in the water by the pier?
Yeah.
And watch it go in. Just
sail and the wind will take it and then
I So I'm guessing whoever's boat went the furthest, they won.
Yeah, or something like that. I don't remember the details.
At that time with the greasy pole, they were putting the ham or turkey in it at the same time?
Yeah, ham.
Okay.
Ham. And maybe a bottle of rum or something, but most time it used to be ham.
Okay.
You know? It used to be fun, and then people go on the pier and you push you over, and it used to be fun, you know?
Okay, so after aquatic sports, then what?
Then the troops and bands. So we used to do that all in one day. Juve, aquatic sports, and by 1 o'clock or 12 o'clock the aquatic sports finish, and you go home and you get ready to come up for the troops.
Okay, and where would the troops start?
Well, we might have started up by CSS, because that's where the thing was. We might have
and then from CSS and then go where?
Come to town, come into town, and well, we didn't have the waterfront down there yet. We just have the main street, so you come down and turn around and go back up. You know?
And you were judging at that time too? There was just display where they're judging for prizes or anything for the troops?
I don't remember if we were judging for prizes. Not for the first year, really.
That would culminate like what time? Like troops would finish like what time?
Maybe 6 years, but those days. Well, as the festival advanced in years, you know, it became bigger and bigger and bigger. We used to be able to jam till 12 o'clock at night. Yeah. But now they're stopping at 8.
You jam too?
Of course I used to jam. You still see me jamming in the troops every year? I love my music. I hope it doesn't send me to hell. But I love music. I love dancing. I love my culture. I have a passion for my culture. So, and I still have the energy. So, I still wine and dine in the band at Culturama time.
So, okay, I'm still trying to follow time. Okay, you finished jamming 12 o'clock at night. So the next day, the Tuesday was work.
Yeah, Tuesday was work.
Back to thing, okay.
Tuesday was work.
So
then as the year advanced, we were able to get, after the schools were involved, we were able to get the holiday. That would have been for the schools to have school children parade.
Okay.
You know?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but then things changed now. Yeah. Yeah, but now it changed to after the jamming, now they just go home a bit, but it used to be the Monday it finished, but then after a while, to include the children, we got the Tuesday as a holiday, so that the children also could have had a full day, you know, so that the children could also have participated. Yeah. But things have changed drastically. I'm sure poor Calvin must be turning in his grave to see how Culturama going the other way, becoming a carnival. Well, as I said, move with the times and have certain things for the young people what they want, but let them know about their roots, you know? Let them know. I don't even think that only this year I see them bigging up Calvin and the aunt. But they should have had a picture of him, showing him, you know? Because he's the father of Culturama. And he named me the mother of Culturama. He gave me the name. Find the correspondence in there where he wrote and said, "You are the mother of Culturama." So he gave me the name. So, anyway, turn me off now. I am Irma Johnson, and I am the mother of Culturama.